Them hustle sote, they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar, just they get the higher power. Over naira. Still them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down. Yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun Live. Happy New Year to all of you. You are welcome to the Temple of Truth 2024. Thank you very much for joining me in the first broadcast. The first day of the first month of the year 2024. It should be special. Share the broadcast. New year to all of you. To all of us who make up. Those of us who survived 2023. If you are watching me live right now, that means you survived 2023 of Bokwari and Tinubu. So, congratulations. Happy New Year.
You too. And yes, right. Oh, Baba, and yes, right.
2023. A lot of you will never forget that in a hurry. Read the caption of the broadcast as usual. Read the description as well. Share the broadcast and pay your offering.
Yes, right.
If Tinubu gave a New Year broadcast, I'm sorry. You would have to watch that tonight.
Yes, right. Yes, right.
To the new brethren who joined the temple.
Yes, right.
Thank you. So, good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from. Happy New Year to all of us. I don't think there is still any of us in 2023 as we speak. I think everyone is now in 2024. So the brethren who just joined this platform maybe few days ago or few weeks ago, listen, this is the platform that will tell you the truth about what is going on in Nigeria. Now, what you make of that truth or that information is completely yours. So the ritual is from the beginning of the broadcast, which is mostly streamed live. So that means we use the first 10, 15 minutes to get ourselves into the program by waiting for others who are going to possibly be joining late. So if you are never watching this broadcast live, the ideal thing is when you are watching a replay, just fast forward all those musical parts. It is part of how we start the tempo every now and then. So I have seen people who still kind of complain of, like the music is too long. The music itself is part of the message you came here to listen to. Do you understand? If you listen to the music, the Yoruba version or the English version, you can easily, kind of get the message of what you are about to delve into. So we appreciate all our new members. We appreciate all the veterans. We appreciate those who have become, if this happened to be a church, there will be deacons and deaconesses. I mean, there will be high chief and, I call them veterans. The people who have been supporting Mayegun, you are too many, too numerous to mention. So I appreciate all of the support for 2023. And I hope I will live up to expectation in 2024 that will make me to continue deserving of your unconditional support. When you join Mayegun's Diary Politico, you are joining because you want to know what is going on in Nigeria. You want to understand why Nigeria that you see today is what it is. How? So that when people try to play on your intelligence, for example, when you begin to understand Nigeria and the criminals running Nigeria, you are automatically going to get upset, angry. You will never know the truth about Nigeria and never get upset or angry. You will naturally get angry. Now, getting angry means you would react expectedly when you know something is not right and people are fooling around, and all this fooling around actually involves lives and it affects lives in a very negative ways. So you get angry. So getting angry means you would express yourself. And because the criminals running Nigeria believed that they have succeeded in conditioning people into a certain kind of social way of thinking, where critical thinking is considered as a threat. Why are you thinking like that? Are you trying to incite the people to start thinking like that? Do you know that if people begin to think like that, what you are just talking about now, they will begin to go after all the leaders? Oh, are you trying to make the people go after the leaders that are making their lives hell? So you get gaslighted. In most cases, they quickly accuse you of being unpatriotic. Are you listening? Are you following? Yeah. The reason why you are Mayegun's Diary Politico is what I'm actually giving you the background of now. You will never know the truth about Nigeria and not get angry. You will be angry. It doesn't matter where you come from. You will be angry. And when you are angry, they don't want you to be angry that way. Because if you are that angry, one day you may take that anger out and effect the change you want yourself. And that is considered incitement. So they would rather you pray for Nigeria. They would rather you believe the lie they tell you. Okay? Don't question it. Just kind of believe. Why do you like problem? Why do you like trouble? They said they will do electricity. Let us just wait. They said they will end their terrorism. At least they have said they will do it. Why can't we just give them time and wait? That is called social conditioning. They spend a lot of money in trying to socially condition 200 million people, despite the physical evidence ruins they've brought upon the country. So on Mayegun's Diary Politico, it is a place where, number one, you are going to be 100% sure that nothing is wrong with you. No matter what they have told you or what you personally have seen about Nigeria, many of them that you can't really put into words. To the point that you are beginning to feel like, are you the one that have problem? This country is just, God, why? What is wrong with this country? Mayegun's Diary Politico is a place to give you clarity. That is where you are going to know that your anger is valid, your rage is legit, and nothing is wrong with you, even if they are doing everything to make you believe that something is wrong with you. Look around you. Nothing is wrong with you. The criminals running the system, the way they are running the system, they want you to believe that this is the best you can get. And you should be thankful that you are even getting this from them. Meanwhile, it is the worst that they can give. So that is why when they try to accuse you of being unpatriotic, you can easily tell that that is not true. They are gaslighting you because you are rejecting the destruction they've brought upon Nigeria. You are refusing to accept the abnormalities that they want you to normalize. They are gaslighting you. So that is not unpatriotic. In fact, if you have to put that into the real context, it is patriotism not to accept the mediocrity and the criminality that these criminals are foisting on every one of us. Because the only people that are unpatriotic here are the people who have the opportunity to make the lives of the people better, but they choose to make the life hell for everyone by asking you to endure while you watch them brittle away your common patrimony. So on Mayegun's Diary Politico again is a place where you can at least find people like you who have also discovered the deceits, and somehow they believe the status quo cannot continue. Exactly. So nothing is wrong with you. The criminals who are looting Nigeria, the criminals who are impoverishing Nigeria, the rogues and the terrorists who are funding terrorism in Nigeria, the judicial system that continue to help the criminals who have carried out a state capture that you are currently witnessing in Nigeria, all of these people are the unpatriotic elements who have chosen self-aggrandizement over national progress. So those are the unpatriotic people that are now using every instrumentality of the law of their criminal system, right, to hunt down everyone that they suspect could indeed trigger a never seen before revolution that would be out of their control. They are worried about this. So how much would they spend more on trying to kind of subdue people when platforms like Mayegun's Diary Political, if we don't exist? Again, consider that as my TED talk, mostly for those of you who just recently joined us. Tinubu released a pre-recorded video, and he called it Addressing the Nation. And in there, he praised himself. This is what they do, okay? All of you know what Nigeria has become right now, especially in your individual life. Abi, you do know, but Guy is currently praising himself. Whoever wrote that for him, they said, if Tinubu hadn't, he's not the one in charge of Nigeria, you probably would be worse off now. Praised himself in the area of security, just like Bokuwari did throughout the 8 years when over 62,000 people were killed in northern Nigeria. So I'm sorry if it's going to be like a boring start, yeah? But we will start from here. Call you this morning in a recorded broadcast. Had this.
To welcome each and every one of you, young and old, to this brand new year 2024. We must lift up our hand to Almighty God in gratitude for His grace and benevolence to our country and our lives in the year 2023 that has just gone by. Though the past year was a very challenging one, it was eventful in so many ways. For our country, it was a transition year that saw a peaceful, orderly, and successful transfer of power from one administration to another, marking the yet another remarkable step in our 24 years of unbroken democracy. It was a year you, the gracious people of this blessed nation, entrusted your faith in me with a clear mandate to make our country better, to revamp our economy, restore our security within our borders, revitalize our floundering industrial sector, boost agricultural production, increase national productivity, and set our country on an irreversible path towards national progress that we and future generations will forever be proud of. The task of building a better nation and making sure we have a Nigerian society that cares for all our citizens is the reason I ran to become your president. It was the core of my renewed hope campaign message, on the basis of which you voted me as president. Everything I have done in office, every decision I've taken, and every trip I've undertaken outside the shores of our land since I assumed office on 29th May 2023 have been done in the best interest of our country. Over the past 7 months of our administration, I have taken some difficult and yet necessary decisions to save our country from fiscal catastrophe. One of those decisions was the removal of fuel subsidy, which had become an unsustainable financial burden on our country for more than 4 decades. Another was the removal of the chokehold of few people on our foreign exchange system that benefited only the rich and the most powerful among us. Without doubt, these two decisions brought some discomfort to individuals, families, and businesses. I am well aware that for some time now, the conversations and debate have centered on the rising cost of living, high inflation, which is now above 28%, and the unacceptable high underemployment rate. From the boardroom at the Broad Street in Lagos to the main street of Kano and Nembe Creeks in Bayelsa, I hear the groans of Nigerians who work hard every day to provide for themselves and their families. I'm not oblivious of the expressed and sometimes unexpressed frustrations of my fellow citizens. I know for a fact that some of our compatriots are even asking if this is how our administration wants to renew their hope. Their compatriots, take this from me. The time may be rough and tough. However, our spirit must remain unbowed because tough times never last. We are made for this period, never to flinch, never to falter. The socio-economic challenges of today should energize and rekindle our love and faith in the promise of Nigeria. Our current circumstances should make us resolve to work better for the good of our beloved nation. Our situation should make us resolve that this new year 2024, each and every one of us will commit to be better citizens.
Una the year Ojuwoye Joe Biden. From the boardroom of Broad Street in Lagos to the main street of Kano, I can hear your complaint. Una the year am? Yeah, kind of. I just felt like, when you look at the American president and the way they kind of talk, you just be like, no matter how old they are, they just kind of have this way of, looking at the teleprompter and you just kind of say something because they have good speech writers, The Fashola is the Saleko Barack Obama. So now them, they put all those words together, So again, this was called Lucia's speech. And remember, he's reading it, and that's why he's reading it very fast enough, okay? But I wanted to kind of keep picking up what he had to say. Is make the best decision for you, okay? Go on.
Places of work and on the roads. Having laid the groundwork of our economic recovery plans within the last 7 months of year 2023, we are now poised to accelerate the pace of our service delivery across the sectors. Just this past December, during COP28 in Dubai, the German Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, and I agreed and committed to a new deal to speed up the delivery of Siemens energy power projects that will ultimately deliver reliable supply of electricity to our homes and businesses under the Presidential Power Initiative, which began in 2018. Other power installation projects to strengthen the reliability of our transmission lines and optimize the integrity of our national grid are ongoing across the country. My administration recognizes that no meaningful economic transformation can happen without steady electricity supply. In year 2024, we are moving a step further in our quest to restart local refinery of petroleum products with Port Harcourt Refinery and the Dangote Refinery, which shall fully come on stream. To ensure constant food supply, security, and affordability, we will step up our plan to cultivate 500,000 hectares of farmland across the country to grow maize, rice, wheat, millet, and other staple crops. We launched the dry season farming with 120,000 of land in Jigawa State last November under our National Wheat Development Program. And this new year, we will race against time to ensure all the fiscal and tax policies reforms we need to put in place are codified and simplified to ensure the business environment does not destroy value. On every foreign trip I have embarked on, my message to investors and other business people has been the same. Nigeria is ready and open for business. I will fight every obstacle that impedes business competitiveness in Nigeria, and I will not hesitate to remove any clog hindering our path to making Nigeria a destination of choice for local and foreign investments. In my 2024 budget presentation to the National Assembly, I listed my administration's 8 priority areas to include national defense and internal security, job creation, macroeconomic stability, investment environment, optimization, human capital development, poverty reduction, and social security. Because we take our development agenda very seriously, our 2024 budget reflects the premium we place on achieving our governance objectives.
Nuisance Lele.
Even though we can just, it's like a Kolu reading something that maybe Bajabia, Mole, and few other guys put together and right there, right? So it's primarily, right, promising that they were going to cultivate 500,000 acres of land. And what else do you remember? Oh, yeah. In the area of security, that's the party is about to get into too as well, right? Now, I don't know if you probably know, he kind of also mentioned that they just had an agreement with Siemens in Germany, who are now going to come and help Nigeria to stabilize, yeah? And he also mentioned Dangote refinery, as well as Port Harcourt refinery, the one that they said will probably not even be ready until December 2024. Dangote refinery, the news continue to say, oh, Dangote has received another batch of crude oil. He's been receiving batches of crude oil, but he has not, he has not, refined a single petroleum since but that's just part of the propaganda, because Dangote refinery itself, right? If they kind of get serious and be honest for just straight 2 years with all the money laundering and all of that, yeah, that means in 2 years, Dangote refinery will be kind of ready to begin to refine product. But the fraud is being kind of built up already, okay? Where they will tell you that, oh, Dangote refinery's petroleum is out, but you probably end up knowing that, the same them who gave the licenses of importing petroleum into Nigeria and all those products to the same Dangote, the same people who are going to bring in the product they're going to sell. So they're already telling people that the Port Harcourt refinery, Dangote refinery, that they are selling, they are giving him a crude oil in Naira. All of this would never reduce the price of petroleum in Nigeria. They're already telling you that, aren't they? We will listen to the other parts before we go to the next thing.
In the presidency to make sure that governance output improves in the living condition of our people. We have set the parameters for evaluation. Within the first quarter of this year, ministers and head of agencies with a future in this administration that I lead will continue to show themselves. Fellow Nigerians, my major ambition in government as a senator in the aborted Third Republic, as governor of Lagos State for 8 years, and now as the president of this blessed country, is to build a fair and equitable society and close the widening inequality gap. Why I believe the rich should enjoy their legitimately earned wealth. Our minimum bargain must be that any Nigerian that works hard and diligent enough will have a chance to get ahead in life. I must add that because God didn't create us with equal talents and strengths, I cannot guarantee that we will have equal outcomes when we work hard. But my government, in this new year, 2024 and beyond, will work to give every Nigerian equal opportunity to strive and to thrive. For the new year to yield all its good benefits to us, as individuals and collectively as a people, we must be prepared to play our part. The job of building a prosperous nation is not the job of president. Governors, ministers, lawmakers, and government officials alone. Our destinies are connected as members of this household of Nigeria. Our language, creed, ethnicity, and religious belief, even when they are not same, should never make us work at cross purposes. In this new year, let us resolve that as joint heir to the Nigerian Commonwealth, we will work for the peace, progress, and stability of our country. I extend this call to my political opponents in the last election. Election is over. It is time for all of us to work together for the sake of our country. We must let the light each of us carries, men and women, young and old, shine bright and brighter to illuminate our path to a glorious dawn.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
I know listening to him can be really, really annoying, and apart from it being boring, but just because he was reading it, when he's reading like that, it's probably just kind of like echoing what somebody else wanted to say that he himself does not believe in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, when you now think, he mentioned electricity, even though he didn't mention your student loan, because there's not going to be any loan for you. Remember when I told you that normally it will make you feel like, as a parent or as a student, when I said that the student loan was a scam, some of you will think, some of you didn't feel good. So you felt like I was probably happy, or I wanted it to fail. Yeah, that's another way of gaslighting people that I think a lot of you need to drop in 2023. You should not enter this 2024 with that same mentality. When people see through the lies of these criminals, and they express what they see, their lies, don't always push it back and start saying maybe they want them to fail. For example, when I told you that the student loan was scam, a lot of you were looking for different explanations. And I kept saying to you, it's a scam. And at the end of the day, you will realize that it is easier to become the president of Nigeria than to access the student loan that Tinubu is promising you. I did a series on that. I mean, I kind of did some series on that. You could forge your certificate, forge anything, and you can become a president. But to get a student loan, have you seen the conditions? No, you haven't, but you believe them. So when somebody now tells you that it's a scam, to you, that person is the enemy who is wishing the idea to fail because they are telling you that it's all scam, it's meant to fail, it's absolute nonsense. Well, this is January. They told you January. Like I said, when Tinubu say things they write for him, the people who wrote them don't believe any nonsense they write. Tinubu that is going to read that does not believe any jack shit in it. I mean, in it. But now you, we're supposed to get sense. See through the whole thing. Now you go on to develop different brain cells. Now you be the genius who believes that because you understand the idea so well, then you wishes that it's going to work. When the people behind it have no plan of anything working. So do not gaslight people. Just like, listen, he mentioned electricity. Abi? Electricity with Siemens of Germany. He took pictures with the German chancellor when he went to Germany. He took picture with him when they met in Dubai. And this, plus since the time he's been there, it's been 7 months. Even if na leg that they take waka from Germany down to Abuja, with the seriousness that Nigeria needs real power. And for somebody who really wants to do something about power, even if na leg that they take waka from Germany right now, they should have reached Abuja 2 weeks ago. With Lego. But since they have pictures, and they told you, 2024, give people the figures, give them numbers. When you said you have budgets, that simply means you have some numbers. Okay? Like when he said they invested in 120,000 acres of land in Jigawa to grow maize. That's something I just dropped there, right? So there is no number to back that up. There's nothing else to back it up. Just 120,000 farms in Jigawa. How much? Where in Jigawa? What are the evidence? What are the numbers? What are, things to say, oh, that's what we are doing. And we are trying to remodel that here. But he just dropped it. We have 120,000 acres of land to grow maize in Jigawa. We started in November. So an Okponu person that they know they are talking to, who believe them that because somebody said, just because Kolu read that, it must be true. Then when it is time for them to harvest the maize from 120,000 acres of land in Jigawa, you realize that there is not even 100 acres of maize in Jigawa. But Tinubu told them there's 120,000. Do you understand? So this is where people like us come in and say, that's a lie, because there's nothing to back it up. By the time you are going to see further, their money has been released for all of that, the money is gone. Because the intention is actually not, somebody wrote that, put that in this and that, So if you submitted the budget, if I'm writing a budget for 2024 right now, I'm going to tell you how much I want to spend on studio equipment improvement. So for somebody like me, this is my own my own business, which means if I have to budget for everything, I know what is going into what and why. Somebody who wrote supposedly wrote a budget, and he wants to give you hope. There is this guy, Sonny Shehu. He's a former senator. This guy from Kaduna, Shehu Sani Abisani Shehu. It was like when you listen to Tinubu's New Year speech, it is like herbalist, like an herbalist who is giving hope to a terminally ill person. Here you get the person who is terminally ill knows that now this thing will finally kill him. Here you get. Then the herbalist is there telling you things to mesmerize you, to make you feel like, don't worry. Do you have faith? Do you have faith that? And you'll be like, okay, all right. So, however you want them to carry you, that's exactly what Tinubu did there, right? Because when you go and look at their budget, that should actually show that they want to do something different. Are you with me? When you go and look at the budget, Abi, you want them to do something different from what Bokuwari did. It is not what he says, it is what they are doing. You are going to borrow money to fund your budget. You want to borrow over 80% of the money to fund the budget, but 75% of the budget is for recurrent expenditures, money for their own lifestyles, salaries, and all those stuff. Not money that goes into the economy, like genuinely. And they want to borrow money for that. Devalue their currencies more. Their currency more. Make life even harder and tougher for the people more. With the promise that, oh, don't worry. After this, everything will be fine again. But guess what? They already dip you there. Here you get. But they want to dip you further in it with the expectation that, oh, let's dip you inside fire just for a few minutes and see if it's going to burn you or it's not going to burn you. And maybe if it burns you, like, maybe it's just going to refine you too. Because after that, you are going to be okay and very lovely and beautiful. They are saying it, we will do this. We will yeah. But when you now look at where to show that they want to do what they say they are going to do, it is so much, it is a far contrast from what they are saying. They increased their budget from 27.5 trillion to 28.78 trillion. And guess where the chunk of the extra money goes into? The National Assembly the National Assembly increased their own budget by 70%. From a 244 billion to almost a 600 billion naira for the House of National Assembly. They want to build a new library. They want to build new gates. They increase the money for the judges. Judges also got about a 100% increase. Country will no get money. Tinubu says he will take care of them like he did in Lagos. Back in Lagos, as Tinubu was giving judges bag of money, he was also giving them choice lands, properties all over the place. What do you want? I'll make you comfortable. Now is the Escobats in Abuja. In your budget, they will give your judges nearly 500 billion too. And just in the supplementary budget, you remember the 2-point-something trillion that they went to go and borrow. They said they will share 800 billion and give to you. At the end of the day, National Assembly collected over 250 billion from it. From borrowed money, they bought themselves cars. They bought themselves other things that they needed from that money. Now, in this new one, Baba, the judges in that last time, they collected over 49 billion. That's how much Kolu gave them from the borrowed money last year. Now, this year, the judges are collecting over 500 billion too from Tinubu from borrowed money, the one that they are going to devalue the naira for. So if they say we need to endure, you need to ensure, and all of that nonsense. So these guys, they kind of have a conversation around it inside the Arise studio. That's another platform that you can also rely upon or rely on in this 2024, because this is going to be the time that Tinubu is going to consolidate the full state capture some of these people.